Alright, so I've noticed that people don't typically have light lists, which it's a fairly simple badge to get. You just get to the end of the ridge and without having a flashlight or any other light source in your inventory. So what I'm going to be doing today is helping some of you less experienced people get light lists and obtain a semi-useless item. Like I said, the Blacklight doesn't have much use, but I swear it'll have more use in the future. Hopefully. Anyways, let's just get on to this. I probably should also turn my volume up a little bit. Okay, there we go. Volume is up. We're ready to go. So, some recommended settings I would have for this are, once I load in game, if I load in game, oh, there we go. Sorry about that. It took a little bit. So, firstly, recommended settings. First, I mean, you can have the music or whatever you have. I'm just going to turn the music off because I want to avoid a copyright strike. Subtitles you can have on. I don't really care about those. I mean, subtitles we don't really care. Reduced motion. This I would actually recommend having off because you can actually, because it really helps with dealing with Chainsmoker. PNG jump scares, I don't really care about this. Reduced epilepsy I have for the convenience of the video, but I do recommend turning this on because iFestation's screen effects removed is actually good. Death mode, also probably recommended you have. Also, the items I recommend you bring with you are something like, just what it really on screen. You can pause there and see, but I highly recommend bringing 2 code breachers and a med kit because trust me, this will help you out a ton. I don't know. Am I going? Oh, see, that thing will also. You know what? Since it just happened, let's talk about tip number 1. Well, I mean, besides tip number 1, don't panic. Tip number 1.5: loot. When doing stuff like opening drawers, do so slowly, because sometimes you accidentally might pick up some sneaky items like this. See that? That's a flash beacon, and that's a light source. That's bad for the run. But yeah.
Honestly, at the rate you're going, you're gonna need it.
See? Sebastian agrees. But yeah, when you're looting, just do so really slowly. Also, there's only a certain amount of loot you want to have because you want to skip through dark rooms typically. Alright, so see how I'm opening the drawers? Do so very slowly because sometimes you might trip up. Because this helps to reduce the chances of you tripping up and accidentally picking up something like a flashlight, or a lantern, or a random flash beacon. So yeah, that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 that's related to this. See, again, be very, very careful. That is deadly to the run. I've already completed the run, I'm just helping you guys out. So here's a very important thing. Tip number 2, deaf mode. Deaf mode and your senses. Basically, sight is a very powerful sense here. And of course, in dark rooms, that's limited. So with sight, with your sight, so having deaf mode enabled can actually help you out when it comes to sneak, and help you out quite a bit when it comes to dealing with certain things, like identifying which being able to quickly identify which angler variant is coming up, or if say Pinky's trying to sneak up on you. Let's see, another thing. Let's see. Oh, yeah, okay, so since we're now actually in a dark room, it's important to talk about things that can actually be in dark rooms. Namely, pits. Oh, hey, doors Easter egg. Cool. Mainly, pitfalls. You gotta be very, very careful of those. Because normally, if you have a flashlight out, you're gonna be able to see those. However, since you don't have a flashlight in this case, you're not gonna be able to see those. Which can lead to some unfortunate accidents. So let's see. Moving on to the next one, since we're actually now in a flooded room. Flooded rooms, you want to skip looting because these are not fun areas. these areas bear very little. These areas, well, if you want to loot these areas, you can pick up like the surface, like the stuff on tables or whatever, like the surface level loot. You can pick that up if you want to. You don't have to. Also, oh, look at that. That's nice. But yeah, just pay attention to your surroundings. Like, see, if this was a non-flooded room and if it was dark, you could have fallen into that pit. So, take some notes by identifying what these areas look like. Like, just take some notes and identify those. Anyways, moving on. Oh, yep. The Blacksite breathes, the Blacksite hungers. So this is more often than not just angler. You also want to keep note of where hiding spots and lockers are. See, another thing that's also related to fake doors. If you're in a dark room, a fake door will always be illuminated. So just be aware of that. Fake doors can be illuminated in dark rooms because it's the painter who does that. However, I noticed that if angler speeds by a fake door, sometimes the fake door will reveal itself to be a fake door by like having a message in bright red text that says something like sorry or whatever. Also, when it comes to looting, you don't want to be too greedy, since stuff like code breachers and medkits are going to be a great help in the Blacksite. That's some monsters to be aware of. Angler and its variants are just mainly the same. Turrets definitely are going to be problems. Let's see what else. Infestation can also be an issue as well, since in dark rooms the sign on the next door is always darkened. If I can find another dark room, I'd show you guys. But yeah, like normally this much research is good enough. Yeah, also be very careful of these guys. Because when you walk nearby a squid with death mode on, it does that. It also plays a little sound effect as well, which, fun fact, sometimes doesn't actually play. But yeah, it's just recommended to just be careful. Because you're never supposed to pick up light sources, like that, for example. Other than that, a lot of the monsters remain relatively the same. It's not like one particular type of monster becomes more deadly in dark rooms. Which brings me to... Okay, there are pitfalls which become more dangerous because you can't see pitfalls. But other than that, there's like nothing else that's particularly dangerous. At least I think. Again, just be careful about where you're going and you should be fine. I can't really provide more commentary on this. So I guess I could just like give commentary on like what I find, for example. I don't know. Very brief. Yeah, again, always be aware of your surroundings. Especially when it comes to this guy. See that guy? The infestation. However, the infestation is actually a little bit more useful in this, because you see that? He emits a green light, which actually can help you know where you're going. So he becomes slightly more helpful in this scenario. So if you're stuck doing this challenge, infestation can be your friend. Can sort of be your friend. Again, just don't. Again. Also, man, this game really wants me to anger the infestation. Dang. Don't listen to the intrusive thoughts. It isn't worth it. Well, I mean, by it isn't worth it, I guess I mean it's only worth doing once. Again, very important to just like look around the room, assess your surroundings, and just note where lockers are, because if you don't, especially if it's a dark room, that could be a problem. Also, when dealing with fake doors, number one, notice the sign. It's a little bit more staticky than usual. You also should be able to notice some unusual sounds emitting from the door in question, meaning that is a fake door. Also, if it's a dark room and the door is still illuminated, it's more often than not just a fake door. Alright, who's this gonna be? Oh god! Uh-oh. Yeah. Very important to assess your surroundings and know where lockers are, especially with that guy, the Pandemonium. Okay, thanks for reminding me about that guy, game. I greatly appreciate you giving me a momentary heart attack. There's no, how did he not see me? That was terrifying. That was not very fun to experience, and I don't want to experience that again. So yeah, again, also another very important thing to note. Oh, hey, cool, free code breacher. Nice. Again, another very important thing to note. Oh, right, also another thing about fake doors. They occasionally emit sparks. It's very important to note where your hiding spots are and where your safe spots, your hiding spots are. Very important to know that, especially when dealing with the Pandemonium. Because Pandemonium, if you're not prepared for it, Pandemonium can, and most likely will, catch you off guard. That is a real door. So we're going to open that. See there? I'm definitely keeping my eyes peeled. You also want to keep an ear out because sound. It's also a good idea to turn your volume up a bit, because keeping an ear out can really help you out. It can and most likely will save your bacon. Here should be incoming an angler. Thankfully, these guys here, the beacons, do not go out under any circumstances. Because apparently Urban Shade decides to make the other lights in the facility not great, yet builds those beacons to last the apocalypse. Batteries, yeah, batteries are free to pick up, although they're completely useless considering you don't have a light source. But I mean, hey, I guess it could be. Hey, if you want to give Sebi more research, then I guess you could do that. But yeah, especially, yeah. Again, going back to my point of opening doors slowly and taking your time. Again, especially in these rooms where you're required to root around for a key card, it can help. Also, I'd recommend to stop after obtaining, like, say, 400 to 500-ish research, because you don't need that much if you're getting like one med kit and 1 to 2 code breachers. You don't have to get 2 code breachers, but that's what I do in general. Also, a really cool lighting effect. How that's. I'm sorry, I'm just appreciating the lighting at this point. Again, gotta be very careful. Gotta know where everything is. Having your sound turned up that I don't think I have talked about yet. Another thing that can help you when dealing with oh, is that Chainsmoker? Oh, it's Chainsmoker. Oh. Oh, that's a little upsetting. I wasn't able to show off a good example. Okay, let's see. So, before I move on to the point I was going to talk about, since that just popped up, I might as well discuss it. So that was Chainsmoker, a unique variant of the Angler that, one, has a custom jump scare. Well, that one doesn't actually have a jump scare, but more of like a death sequence. That's kind of like spooky jump scare style. And, oh, I hear radio. You don't see those often. But yeah. If anything, when it comes to that's why I suggest turning reduced motion off in these scenarios, because it can actually help you gauge just how close Chainsmoker is, because Chainsmoker's main mechanic. Oh, hi, Sebastian. Because Chainsmoker's main mechanic is that he can force you out of the locker quicker.
Got a selection of good things on sale, friend.
But yeah, if Sebastian doesn't have any code breachers on sale, that's totally fine. I mean, it's fine. You can likely just find more.
Thank you.
Dang, man, 2 Resident Evil 4 references? Amazing. Yep.
See you soon.
See ya, bud. But yeah, so when your screen begins to like shake extremely violently, like really quickly, that's typically when you want to get into the locker. Oh, hi, you. How you doing? Oh, almost ran into that guy. In fact, I actually did. Wait, is that? No, it's not. So I thought for a second that was Pinky. Oh yeah, for these rooms, whatever side the light on the flare is pointed to, like this side for example, that's the way you have to go. So just go this way, and down, and here we go this way. It's kind of like a maze. They're like maintenance tunnels. Wait, what was that point? Oh, right, the point. So the other point I was going to talk about, the one about having your sound turned up, is it can also help you sniff out wall dwellers. You know, the people, you know, the armless men in the walls that hop out sometimes, that hop out and try to, that sometimes appear and try to hop out and chase after you. So that's Angler. I can just hide in this side room. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, very important to know if your surroundings. But yeah, I'm gonna real quick do something. I'm gonna turn my sound up a bit. Hear that? Those are your footsteps. A wall dweller's footsteps are much slower, and they have a lot less pace than that. So you got to be very careful. So with those, you have to be careful. So if you listen out for those, you should be able to discern if there's a wall dweller there or not. Another thing that you can hear wall dwellers do is popping out of the walls. It makes like kind of a squishing sound. However, if you it makes a little squishing sound, or like a squelching noise when they pop out of the walls at first. So that'll also help you know. It'll also help you to know when to turn around. Or you can just be like me and just always be like super paranoid about wall dwellers. Void mass lockers, they aren't really much different. Just listen. Actually, let's see if we can find one real quick. I need an example. Oh crap. That's why you need the medkits. Just an extra layer of security. Yep, sorry about that, guys. So who's it gonna be this time? Oh, Chainsmoker. Okay, this is Chainsmoker. So you want to hide about there. Yeah, see? There you go. And there you go. Congratulations. That's Chainsmoker. It's finally able to show you that. But yeah, Chainsmoker is a unique angler variant where he's the slowest node monster in the game. But however, Chainsmoker is different. Chainsmoker dispenses smoke that forces you out of the locker a lot faster than normal. Also, going back to what else? Also, what was I? Right, back to my point earlier about the about Pandemonium. So Pandemonium is not an angler variant, yet it's still technically a node entity. Node entities are just monsters that have like a set path through rooms. So Pandemonium is unique in the way that he is one of two, and that it is one of two monsters that can actually break away. Oh, this is the spider cave. Cool. See that guy there, the spider? Hey, don't worry, he's not gonna. Don't worry, he's just a prop. He can't hurt you. That's not technically a monster, but if it's like a document or something. Alright, so Pandemonium is unique in the way that it can actually see you. Yep, those eyes are not there for show. They're used... What, was that a wall dweller? I don't know, I thought I heard one. So those eyes are practical, meaning they're better to see you with. You'll be able to hear Pandemonium coming because of its sounds. It's got kind of like a kind of an undulating sound, or like a sound of like a croaking, groaning, followed up with like little kind of combined with little metal with the sounds of like metal crunching and stuff, like a kind of sound. So you'll know he's coming, and also if you enable the death mode like I told you to, then you'll also know he's coming because of the very distinct red smoke. It can be harder to see in certain rooms like the oxygen gardens or any maintenance rooms with red lights. But if you hear or see those two things, you'll know that Pandemonium is coming. So if Pandemonium spots you, he breaks away from the set path in order to be able to chase after you with a separate pathfinding AI. That's what makes Pandemonium so unique. That's what makes Pandemonium so unique. That's what makes Pandemonium a fairly unique monster. Let's see. If Pandemonium reaches you and you're in a locker, it initiates the infamous mini game. Oh yeah, see? Wall Dweller. Yeah, you hear that? When they're running away or running back towards you, they also make very distinct sounds. Yeah, your average wall dweller has a very small chance of trying to sneak back up on you, of trying to ambush you of trying to ambush the player. So also just keep your eyes peeled for that. Also, if you're concerned about Pandemonium spawning, don't worry, he can only spawn once. And he can also... There you go. Let's see. So, number one, if you're concerned about Pandemonium spawning a second time, don't worry, he can't. He's not coded to do that. He's only coded to spawn once. Well, technically twice, actually, but only once per area. So, once in the normal Blacksite, and he's only... So, you can spawn only once in, like, the regular Blacksite area. But he can only spawn... Oh wait, it's this room. It's this room. But he can only spawn again. So he can spawn again, but he can only spawn a second time in the whatchamacallit. In the ridge. Also don't do this. Also, don't do what I'm doing here. I would not suggest using these cards to open up stuff like cells. But yeah, this is the Dead Faces room. One of these. Oh yeah, here he is. It's Davidson. It's an empty chair. Yeah, this is an interesting room. And this is I think this room's titled Dead Faces. Sorry, Dead Cedar. It's a very strange room, that one. But yeah, I would not suggest opening up cells during the run, because it's not really all that productive. But yeah. Anyways, unless you don't have something like the Paranoia's box document. That one only costs 1 code breacher now, so you should be good. But I'm certain you'll find more of them. Also, void mass loggers. A quick PSA. Number one, see that? It's very faint, so it's very faint. Yeah, number one, a little dripping effect at the bottom. Number two, this very faint puddle. It'd be a lot easier to see if I had a flashlight. Number three, it makes like bubbling and breathing sounds. And number four, if it wasn't quite obvious, yeah, these lockers have two very bright eyes that follow the player. They're usually purple, but they can have other colors, like rarely red, green, or yellow. But sometimes, yeah, in very rare cases, however, these void mass puddles won't actually have said eyes. However, it's extremely rare, and I doubt you'll ever find one, but if you do, hey, congrats, you found something super rare. Oh, wait. But, oh, wait. Oh, it's this room, that's what this is. But, yeah, well, but yeah, lockers, you should be able to avoid those pretty easily. Oh, and the searchlights, this area. I don't like this area, actually, the searchlights. But yeah. So the searchlights isn't also not affected by lights in general. Well, yeah, not having a flashlight shouldn't affect your experience, or pretty much should never affect your experience with searchlights at all, because the lights are bright. In fact, you also have to stay out of the light. I'll get to that. It is the big fishy. Also, don't worry, nothing else but the searchlights can actually spawn in this section. So don't worry, you're totally fine. Also, the music would normally play here, but womp womp. Yeah, if you want someone to blame, blame Sonic Forge. Okay, that's all I can say. But yeah, this area is pretty much not affected by having no lights at all. So this and also the Let Van Zone, it's pretty much nearly exactly the same. The Let Van Zone is a little bit different because it is darker. But don't worry, the main area is lit up by Lucy. Plus the objectives have lights, so you shouldn't have any troubles trying to spot the objectives. One thing to note about this area is that the more generators you fix, the faster the searchlights here becomes. We also might want to hide in certain areas when the searchlights goes by. You'll see those bright orange lights that are emitting off of its eyes. You might want to stay out of those because the end result is not particularly good. However, if you are spotted, there's a brief period there's a brief period to where you can still go and hide. But it's like extremely brief. Here, I'll demonstrate if I can just get him to look over here. Up. See that? It's very, very short. It's about a little bit less. It's about a second, maybe less than a second. But yeah. Searchlights are a little bit dim, meaning at first they don't know what they're looking, meaning they need to take a second before they can actually attack. But however, yeah, the initial attack does like 30 something, does a small amount of damage, which is negligible since this is technically an instant kill. Since it technically then instantly kills the player. So yeah. There we go. The broken generators have, the broken generators. Sorry. Broken generators are red. Fixed generators are green. It takes about 4-ish skill checks to be able to actually fix the generator. Small animation plays out. Just know where the searchlights are relative to you. Just always be aware where the searchlights are relative to you. Yeah, there's a couple of angler variants that I haven't yet talked about because they haven't showed up yet. So far, we've only seen angler and chink. Oh, hey, there's one. I'll let this one speak for itself. That was Pinky. And Pinky is one I particularly hate. Because, oh, there's a side room here. Yeah, alright, I'll just let it. Okay, so Pinky is an angler variant that's unique because, one, it doesn't actually break lights, which is cool. And number two, it doesn't let you know by flickering the lights, which is very unique. Instead, it has its own unique little sound effect, kind of like a high-pitched shrill, like a... And if you have def mode on, it's a bright pink smoke that appears on your screen. So yeah, there's Pinky. She's just pretty much like standard angler, except without the one thing Angler can sometimes do, like any other angler variant. But except she doesn't let you know she's coming, so you have to listen out for her pretty much. If you don't know she's coming, and if it's too late, you're pretty much cooked. It also makes it so you have to discern which ambient sounds that you hear are Pinky, and which ambient sounds that you hear are just ambient sounds. Which is quite important. So again, that's why turning your sound up can definitely help. Okay, so let's see. So there's two more angler variants that haven't showed up yet, and I haven't talked about. So I don't know if they're going to show up or not, but I might as well get onto the thing I'm talking about earlier. So Angler has this thing that he can sometimes do, where Angler can sometimes actually appear from the next room over. Meaning, he shows up from the front, instead of the back, which can catch you off guard and sometimes leave you less time to react than normal. Also, the keycard is not in this room. I better go back to the other room and look for it. Anyways, keycards, so the blue keycards, like the normal ones, those have like a little, those like purple keycards play the sound effect. But unlike purple keycards for whatever reason, the blue keycards when they play their little water chime sound effect, they actually have like a little, if you have def mode enabled, it actually has a blue indicator that's like an arrow and a curve that points to wherever the keycard is relative to you. Is that a wall dweller? Or am I just crazy? Nope, no wall dweller. We're good. Also, hey, we did that. I was right. Onto the code breacher. Yay. Okay, let's see. What else? Oh yeah, the good people also do. Let's see. Also, the good people, like that giant flesh monster. It does 55 damage, meaning if you encounter it twice, you're dead. So again, important to discern which doors are real and which are fake. But yeah, oh lordy. Come on, game. Let me up here. Oh hey, I think this is heavy containment. Yeah, anyways, purple keycards, like the one I'm holding here, don't actually emit any sound effects. Well, they do emit sound effects, but they don't have an indicator when they do emit a sound effect. Which is pretty dumb, but there's no indicator when def mode is enabled. Oh, it's this room. Yeah, so heavy containment. You can see some Easter eggs here, but other than that, there's like nothing else here. But yeah. I can pick up a light source because I already have the lightless badge, but for the sake of the video, I'm just not gonna have... I'm not gonna pick up any light sources. Unless it's a gummy flashlight. Unless the game just decides to throw the room at me and just give me a gummy flashlight. Like, unless the game decides to throw at me the rooms and decides to give me and decides it would be really cool if it gave me a gummy flashlight, that'd be cool. Also, cool, this thing. I mean, I guess you can have the imaginary friend, but for the sake of the video, I'm not, since it would be annoying having to interrupt my sentences. Oh, it's this thing. Oh, it's just an empty cell. It's probably where the pandemonium must have been kept. Very strange, that one. Anyways, let's see. Oh, right. Oh, that was the previous room. Alright, so onto the next room, I guess. Sorry about that. Yeah. I'm not gonna be, for the sake of the video, I'm not gonna pick up a light source unless it's the gummy flashlight, because I like the gummy flashlight. I think it's funny. Ah, dang it. Alright, we got this room with... I don't know what's inside there because I don't have a light. Would be really cool if the game decides to give me a gummy flashlight right now. Huh? Oh, it's a keycard room. I didn't notice. Hey, thanks game for giving me a... Thanks game for giving me this good old keycard. Ooh, Mindscape. Yeah, so this is one of the ways to get the Mindscape documents. Got another code breacher as well. This isn't a key card room, but it does have some cool little areas. We got the statue. Got the statue. Got... Oh crap, you have to, And oh crap, Urban Shade is trying to summon Herobrine. That is not good. Oh, we got Angler. Oh, okay, this is one of them. Okay, so this is the one I was talking about. This is Frogger. This is the brown variant, the Frogger. So that's what that one is. Oh, also not many people know this, but fun fact: Frogger is a she. I think this is the end of this is the end of heavy containment. Nah, the game didn't give me a gummy flashlight. I'm sure we'll get one next month. I'm sure we'll get one next time, but yeah. Right. Gummy flashlight, right? Not gummy flashlight. Frogger. So Frogger is unique in the way that, Frogger... Let's see. So you can hear Frogger because of the unique sounds, like the... And also the... Woo! Oh, that scared me. Again, very important reason why not to talk, and also why to have your sound turned up. Yeah, you'll be able to hear that. Oh crap, and that too! Hang on. Hang on. Is it here? Hang on. Is it here? Yeah, buddy. Okay, yeah, so fun. Okay, so yeah, before I forget, fun fact. Wall dweller. Yeah. However, wall dwellers have a special interaction when it comes to anglers and turrets. If they encounter angler or any of its variants, also this for some reason includes pandemonium, it will die and also basically drop its corpse. If you find the corpse, and basically you can take a piece of it and eat it to gain a health regen effect. It's quite disgusting, but hey, it's practical if you're underwater, because you can't heal underwater. Oh! Yeah, turrets. Just stay out of the line of fire of turrets. However, turrets also have a couple of quirky interactions. Like one, if a wall dweller steps into their line of sight, like those lasers for example, then it will get shot up by the turret and die.
Wow, delicious.
Yeah, you can eat that and you gain a health regen effect. Not particularly useful, but I mean it's something, I guess. But yeah, we don't have to worry about the wall dweller anymore. Okay, so wall dweller, right? So yeah. So if a wall dweller gets shot up by a turret or gets caught by an angler, it will basically drop its body, and you can take a piece of its body and eat it, which is quite a disgusting mechanic. But I mean, hey, it's free health regen. But you gain a passive health regen effect. But anyways, back to Frogger. Right, again, back to Frogger, because Frogger has a special mechanic. So Frogger will actually run through the room 3 times, even at random speeds with random delays. Well, Frogger actually maintains a consistent speed, but has a random amount of delay time between going through the room and going back, between going through the room and coming back and rebound. So Frogger's main, so that's Frogger. She goes through once, goes back in the direction where she came, and then after a random amount of time, will come back to the room. Which is why I heavily recommend you stay at a hiding spot once you find one. So, back to it. So, anyways, here begins the final stretch of the run, the ridge. So I'll give you all the, so anyways, that's all the main area tips I can give you. Oh crap, hang on a second. Sorry about that, my phone was about to die. So anyways, here we go with the ridge. This section is very problematic for a lot of people. So anyways, I'll give you some tips. Like firstly, actually getting to the ridge. You see these multiple hallways? Yeah, notice how one of them has this green light. Always look for the green light. This one indicates a safe passage and won't lead you to the good people. So as this next part is just going to be pain, all right? So first starts off with looking for this key card. So yeah. So just find this purple key card. Don't pick up a light source if there is one. Also, don't do any excess looting. Okay. Also, like always hide back here. Because fun fact, more often than not, Angler's gonna run through the room. I'm wrong? Question mark? Okay, hang on. Now he's gonna run through the room. Oh, yep. Nope. I'm not wrong. Okay, so now we gotta act a little bit faster than usual. So see these lights? They flicker on and off. So this area is very important when it comes to being aware of your surroundings. Because you always want to be aware of your hiding spots. Always want to be aware of your hiding spots. Also, if there's any keycard doors, don't bother looking for the keycards. That's what these code breaches are for. Just be aware of your surroundings. First thing you do when entering a room, look for hiding spots. And just kind of like, just play a little bit of, like, I don't know, Frogger or whatever. Just like, go from hiding spot to hiding spot pretty much. Uh-oh. Because that's why hiding spots are important. And that's why room knowledge is important. So here's again, hiding spots. So again, tip, wait. Also, Frogger and Pinky emit lights above their heads, so keep a lookout for those as well. Track of which direction the anglers go, because more often than not, that's the door you need to go to. We haven't seen him yet, so I guess I might as well talk about him. So the last angler variant they haven't talked about is the fastest one. And I mean, by the fastest one, I mean the fastest node monster in the whole game. That is Blitz. So Blitz is the fastest node monster in the entire game. And that is... that is not a joke at all when I say that, because... he is fast. He is fast. Also, be very careful of the speakers. But yeah, But yeah, that beeping sound is basically a timer that leads to counts down. Hey, here we go. Says again. The beeping sound is a countdown to when your diving gear explodes, pretty much, killing you instantly. So we never actually experienced him in that run, but I guess I'll talk about that. So Blitz is the fastest snow monster in the whole game, pretty much. So in the main area in a bright room, which by the way, all anglers can only attack in bright rooms. He normally announces himself via two sets of lights flickering. Hang on, I gotta leave this guy to stop. Yes. Alright, cool. So by now you should have the, actually, no, hang on. Not by now. Let me finish my explaining. So Blitz normally announces himself via actually two series of lights flickering. And that tells you need to get to a locker as soon as possible, because Blitz will then soon run through the room at ridiculously high speeds. So, yeah, Blitz is basically the fastest node monster in the whole game. That's what he does. His whole gimmick is speed. On the Ridge, he doesn't really announce himself very well. On the Ridge, he announces himself by actually playing his ambient sound, which is kind of like this kind of... I don't know. I can't replicate the sound. You have to look it up on the wiki. But he announces that sound. He announces himself by playing that sound, a lot sooner than usual, as to compensate for him not having the light flickering. Pretty much like all the other angler variants. So just be aware of that. Same thing applies to Chainsmoker with his ambient sound. So yeah. So that's Blitz finally explained, since we never got to talk about him. And as for those speakers, if you're in a range of those speakers, basically the speakers have a timer that counts down to where basically your diving gear explodes and you die. So yeah, don't stand around those speakers for too long, pretty much is what I'm saying. Just be aware of those. So anyways, that should be everything covered, and by this point here, when you've completed the Ridge, you should have unlocked the Blacklight. Which, in case you don't know, the Blacklight happens to not anger squiddles. Although, do be aware that the Blacklight does have reduced battery life when compared to the regular flashlight. So be conservative with it. So anyways, that's pretty much the whole video. That's just me talking about Lightless and giving you guys a small tutorial about it. So the takeaways here are, just be aware of your surroundings and the monsters you encounter. Have certain things enabled, like death mode for easier experience. And also be careful when looting, because you might accidentally pick up something like a flash beacon, which can end your whole run in just that moment. So in other words, just be extremely careful. That's pretty much everything for me. I'll see you guys later. Oh, also make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Pretty please.